Working as a team really is the biggest factor. I'm Dom Jackson, David A. Media, and this is the 7-Day Scoop Show, my weekly show where I document my career and decisions that I'm making. If you have a venture you're trying to pursue, where I use my story and my venture to help motivate you. And working as a team is so important. This week, my Car Keys Express venture, we've been going through the process of me trying to get my own van. And this week was another week in the stores. We ended up getting 1860 out of 2,000 points, which is the highest we had for a while. I ended up getting 150 out of that total points. And we know the standard I was going for is 500 to 700. So today was a lower week for me. Some of the factors that went into this week's growth process and changing is that now we're actually a bigger team. We recruited some people over the last couple of weeks that ended up staying and working. We have at least 5 people who consistently work at the van and do the job, at least from the podium side. And then we have at least 4 people that can do things on the technical side and run the entire van. So now we can do all these things without having the owner present. So we have enough solid people on the team that the owner cannot be present, and we still have 4 people that can be on the technical side and someone can be inside doing the podium as well. So now we're doing these things, we're doing half shifts. So we'll have someone come at the beginning of the day, someone come at the end of the day, as opposed to having the entire team all day at once, which is a new factor going into. I left for some personal reasons. But anyway, we have a new level of team and we have to adjust for it according wise because we get paid a certain amount versus we're hourly versus commission. So we have to make sure we balance out it for everybody. And if you're underneath that amount, it ends up being more costly for whoever runs the van. So I get to learn about the different versions of levels of teams and what that looks like in figuring out how to make sure everyone can still make money and still work as successfully as possible. With that, some of the things that I really learned this week, being at the podium is one of the biggest staples of our business. And, figuring out how to work that with someone else is always going to be a factor because it's 2 different personalities, 2 different people, and you still got to get your job done and make money. There's a lot of systems that will go into that in place. You go, I go, every other person, loud versus more body language. You kind of end up finding your different version of how to play versus what they play. And in the same way, in a sports team, everybody has their position. Everybody has their position as this team as well. And you learn how to deal with each other's blind spots and what things are associated with each person. Sometimes people are a lot more loud, so you got to have a little more, be a little more. People are a lot more projecting a lot louder, so a lot more like a shotgun. So you got to come in a little bit more like a sniper with your actions. Or, people are a lot more fast paced. You got to, move at a slower pace to get the slower people. And being in a position where you're in a lead position where you've been here longer, like I am right now, most of the time it's just adjusting to help them grow and figure out their pace. And then me going at my pace, but also in a pace that doesn't interrupt them too much so that they can grow and learn from me while also figuring out their own cadence. So it's interesting being on this side of the coin because you got to really be adaptive and still get results. Working on something I've been working on for the past couple times doing this because just back a couple months ago I was getting fucked up, to be honest. But I'm figuring it out slowly. There were some slower days over this past week, and what we have to do with us, because everything is basically based off foot traffic, we find different ways to keep ourselves looking like we're always in rotation. So one thing that we've been doing, we take a dummy key, we bring it around the store, we bring it back to the van, we come back like we're actually doing a sale, and we do that a couple of times around. Now we've also been doing, we have our car somewhere in the parking lot, and we'll go out to our car and we're programming a key there and then come back and get that done. So at least it looks like we're doing the steps, we're running around doing the motions. And every once in a while, someone might stop. I know me personally, I'll go in and I'll help an old lady with her groceries or something. I'll do something just to do some extra stuff as well when it's not that busy, just to bring some attention to me and bring attention to the van. But it's kind of just you got to fish a little more at Costco just because you got to wait for the fish to get there. But you can find your ways to stir the water up a little bit more, which is something that we've been doing more of. I left some personal stuff. So I missed the last 2 days of the week, but the team pulled through. So it's cool seeing how people can operate without one of the people being there. Shout out to Marcus and Calvin pulling up this week. Legendary. Somehow found a way to come check out your boy in the field. So a lot of love there. But another venture. Keep you guys posted. Always take it one step at a time. We get there day by day.